I'm Diane Collier, and as past chair of the IEEE Awards and Recognition Committee, I would like to welcome everyone in attendance at tonight's award ceremony, but most especially the award recipients, their families, and guests. There are some specific individuals in attendance whom I wish to recognize before we start with the awards. These are people who are or have been active leaders within IEEE. Would all present and past members of the IEEE Board of Directors please stand? You may be seated. Would all present and past members of the IEEE USA Board of Directors please stand? You may be seated. Would all past IEEE USA award recipients please stand? Isn't that a great group? Please be seated. I would also like to recognize Mary Ellen Randall, the current IEEE USA Awards Chair. Mary Ellen? IEEE staff member Sandra Kim provides valuable support to the awards committee. Thank you, Sandra, for all your efforts. It's always a pleasure working with you. Please note that the award ceremony is taking place because of your nominations. They are the reason that these individuals are receiving distinguished awards. Please consider nominating a worthy individual for award this year. Nominations are due July 31st. Now I'd like to introduce IEEE USA President Evelyn Hurt to make a few comments. Evelyn?
Thank you, Diane. I'd also like to welcome everyone in Nashville into the IEEE USA annual meeting. And reminding you one other thing, not only does IEEE USA have the privilege of giving these wonderful individuals you see here today and future individuals awards, we also endorse an IEEE candidate for 5 awards to the American Association of Engineering Societies for their awards. So please, when you get that announcement, pay heed and send us some wonderful candidates so that I may personally have the privilege of sending that nomination to the American Academy of Engineering Societies, of which this year we submitted 3 awards and we have won 2. Unfortunately, I can't tell you which awards and which awardees because the awardees have not been officially been notified yet. Each year we hold the IEEE USA Awards Banquet and Ceremony during the meeting so that the award recipients may be recognized among their peers. This year we have 24 award recipients, and I'm pleased to announce that 16 of them are here with us tonight. Let's give them a round of applause. The selection of award recipients is not an easy task. It is a laborious yet worthy cause that brings us here tonight. I would first like to acknowledge the extensive work that the Awards and Recognition Committee, led by Diane Collier and Mary Ellen Randall, have done over the past years to make this happen. I would also like to acknowledge the President-elect, Ron Jensen, who is here with us tonight. Now, it is our custom in IEEE USA to have our past president serve as the MC, since it was in his year as the president that these awards were earned. It is with great pleasure for me to introduce to you the 2009 IEEE USA President, Gordon Day. Gordon.
Thanks, Diane, and thanks, Evelyn. And good evening to everyone who's here this evening. It's a great privilege to honor these individuals here. In fact, I have to say, and I'm sure many of you who've been in this situation, similar situations, know that it's one of the nicest things that we get to do, the happiest events that we do during the year. The ceremony begins by recognizing undergraduate engineering students from 3 universities for their winning entries in IEEE USA's 3rd How Engineers Make a World of Difference online engineering video scholarship competition. That competition provides $5,000 in scholarship awards. The 3 YouTube video entries were judged most effective in reinforcing for an 11 to 13-year-old audience how engineers improve the quality of life. And for the 3rd year, we've had a 3-judge panel, which included Andrew Kakan, who's a PhD student in electrical engineering at Stanford, Suzette Aguilar, who's also a PhD student, in this case at Wisconsin-Madison, and Nate Ball, who's a mechanical engineer and also host of PBS's Design Squad. So the 3-person team, including Sergio Flores Castro, Miguel Murillo, and Carolina Flores from the University of Nevada at Las Vegas, won the $2,000 first prize. A $1,500 second prize goes to Zachary Phillips of LeTourneau University in Longview, Texas. And a $1,000 third prize to Carrie Hunter of Pensacola Junior College in Florida. Carrie also will receive a $500 scholarship for the most innovative and effective presentation of a video entry to the tween target audience. These awards were announced just recently by Nita Patel, who's our Vice President for Communications and Public Awareness. And it was during the annual National Engineers Week event, which was the 14th to the 20th of February. And these videos were also featured during E-Week, during the first national web-based gathering of engineering students called Engineers Week Blast. And that was run live from Howard University. So now I think we have an opportunity to take a look at these 3 winning entries, starting with the 3rd place winner and concluding with the 1st.
There goes our sandcastle. I wonder if the waves were high enough if they'd take away those condos.
Hey, down here, look at me.
Who are you?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Dave. I'm a geotechnical engineer.
Well, what do engineers do?
An engineer solves problems. A geotechnical engineer is a person who investigates soil to determine which foundation is best suited for the type of structure you're building on.
Well, how can big buildings like that be built on sand?
Well, first we drill holes in the ground to determine which soils you have, and we call those borings. Once you have those borings, you look to see what soil types you have and determine the foundation you need to build that structure on. Now, for condos on the beach, what you put them on are probably piles. Big, long pieces of concrete they stick on the ground.
But why would you want to be an engineer?
I was always fascinated with construction, and my dad was into Seabees, and going to job sites and seeing the machinery and all the energy around it, I wanted to get into construction, and one of the ways I always felt that I wanted to design part of that and be part of that process, and that's how I got into engineering.
Wow, engineers really do make a world of difference every day.
We had no clue. Being an audio head, one thing that is really important to me is great sound. These headphones are some of the best sounding headphones I've ever heard. The man behind this equipment is an electrical engineer by the name of Dr. Amar Bose. His company is the maker of top audio equipment all around the world. The equipment can be found from the Olympic Games to the Sistine Chapel, even in the NASA space shuttles. One day he didn't like the way that his old stereo speakers sounded, so he decided to change them. Engineers are people just like you and me that want to make life better. Engineers are changing the world one innovation at a time. Hey, even if audio isn't your thing, engineers can be found in your everyday lives too. Whether it be through gaming, cars, sports, computers, aviation, photography, space, lasers, cell phones and communication, tunnels, theme parks, boats, trains, planes, or even beauty supplies like this hair dryer or this hair straightener, engineers are shaping our lives. Engineers around the world have ideas, and they are making them become a reality by using their knowledge and skills. These once ideas are now a part of our everyday lives. Make your dreams and ideas become a reality by becoming an engineer, and make a world of difference.
What comes to your mind when you think of engineers?
Engineers? When I think of engineers, I think of boring math books. Hard physics equations that I can't understand. And there's like this one that just came in.
In the real world, engineers are regular people working on projects that make life better for all of us. Like the following engineer who's working on renewable energy.
Solar energy is a possible way of supplying our future electrical and other kinds of needs. Harvesting sunlight to make electricity is extremely important.
Why is that important? Well, thanks to this kind of engineering, in the future, our lights won't have to go out or our cars stop moving. So how do you become an engineer? It all starts by studying hard and going to college. Come up with an innovative idea and use it with the skills you learn to really make a world difference. So next time you think of an engineer, don't just think of a nerd like this one. Think of the real engineer, who's making the things we use every day. Like cell phones, video games, cars, and cities. Are you ready to become an engineer?
Well, we're very pleased to have one member of the winning team with us tonight, Sergio Flores Castro, and I'd like to have him come up to the stage, please.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very happy and honored to be here tonight. I want to thank IEEE USA for giving me the opportunity to work on this video. We really had a lot of fun, and we wanted to make the point that engineering can be fun. And I also wanted to thank Professor Beam for coming, for volunteering to be in part of this video. And thanks to everyone who made this possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think those of us who remember the 3-year sequence of these competitions that we've had will notice that the quality has grown each time, and I don't know how people go from here, but I think it'll be fun to see what comes along next year. And I also want to say a word of thanks to the IEEE board, IEEE USA board, for supporting this activity. So now we're ready to begin the actual awards ceremony by presenting the IEEE USA Professional Achievement Awards for organizations and individuals. These awards are to recognize significant contributions of organizational and individual efforts in the development and implementation of professional activities in the United States. The recipients of the 2009 Professional Achievement Awards are here with us tonight. One goes to Boeing, then individual ones to Gary Bishop, King Swee Go, John Richardson, and Gordon Young. If those people will come forward, please. Should be a slide of Boeing up there. Okay, so the Professional Achievement Award winner for an organizational unit is Boeing, and accepting on behalf of Boeing is Jim Leonard. Please, Jim. And Boeing is being recognized for promoting diversity in the workforce, environmental awareness, and for outstanding support of IEEE U.S. members. Jim, would you join me at the podium? And
you're darn tootin'. First, let me recognize Terry Halbert, who's one of the three amigos. Stand up there, Terry. Now let me let you in on a little secret. Now, what does industry want from IEEE? Anybody know? I can tell you the first thing they want and are thankful for is ABET accreditation. Because when a person comes to Boeing for employment, that's one of the first things that we look at is ABET accreditation. The second thing is the award program. Boeing is thankful for getting this award, and also Boeing looks to IEEE to provide awards for Boeing engineers. The rest of it you'll have to catch with me. You'll have to catch me later to tell you. But there's two secrets for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Congratulations to Boeing. The first of the Individual Professional Achievement Awards winners is Gary Bishop. Gary, would you come forward, please? Gary was selected for leadership and the support of GOLD, graduates of the last decade, and K-12 activities. Gary, would you come over?
Thank you. I certainly need to start out by thanking the leadership of the Cedar Rapids, Iowa section, without which I wouldn't be standing here before you, and certainly IEEE USA. I've been nominated because of my involvement in Future City competition. In the last 3 years, I've mentored 32 teams, I believe, and in 2 of the last 3 years, I've gone to Washington, D.C. because of that. I tell the students when I go that I'm going there on a free trip, basically on the backs of their efforts, because the students really do all the work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations to Gary. King Swee, would you come forward, please? King Swee Go was selected for leadership in GOLD and SPAC activities inspiring young professionals. Would you please?
Okay, I'm not actually going to give you the usual thank you speech, but I'm just going to ask you, who here enjoys a fine glass of wine? Raise your hand. Okay, gold members, please stand up. All of them. All of you guys. Now, the rest of you guys who are sitting down, you guys are like a fine glass of wines. You guys standing up, you're still in the barrel. But remember this, you guys are the future leaders of IEEE and IEEE USA. And I salute you guys for believing in IEEE and IEEE USA, and I thank you guys for believing in what we do. And I will hope to continue working for you guys in Go, and that is actually my thank you speech. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, John, would you please step forward? John Richardson was selected for 25 years of contribution and leadership in the development of IEEE USA's positions on communications policy.
All right, first I thank Gordon Day for his support of the Committee on Communications Policy during 2009. Next, I recognize Debbie Rudolph for her tireless efforts as Executive Secretary of keeping the committee's work on track. Now, I have to say that the most gratifying issue we worked on was CCP's early advocacy of a national broadband deployment. Finally, the country has recognized that broadband is an essential ingredient of economic growth and social benefit. We now seem to be on the right track. And thank you for such an award.
I just have to say a personal word of thanks to John Richardson. Something like 45 or 50 years ago, when he was a young executive at what was then called the National Bureau of Standards, he made a visionary decision to start a laser measurements program. A few years after that, I joined the organization, benefited from the opportunity that he made there, and ultimately had the chance to lead that program. So I've always been grateful to John, even though I only met him just a few years ago. Thank you, John. And finally, would Gordon step forward, please? Gordon Young was selected for engaging local industry in the 2009 IEEE USA Annual Meeting. Gordon, please.
I'd like to thank Gene Eason, first of all, for the nomination which I had. I deal with a lot of non-engineering personnel, and let me tell you that it's relatively easy to get the participation that we need and people helping us out in various things when you explain to them the importance of engineering in their lives, which they don't understand, and that every profession that there is has less contribution to the lives of ordinary people than engineering does. And the importance that when they realize that, they're willing to help and willing to support our activities to a much greater extent than they would otherwise. And so thank you very much for the award.
Forward. A little bit forward. Okay, right there. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations to all of them. And unfortunately, we had two other recipients in this category who couldn't be with us tonight. Michael Hayes was selected for leadership in organizing the Engineering Expo in Syracuse, New York. And Vishnu Pandey was selected for leadership in increasing gold participation at the 2009 IEEE Annual Meeting. Let's congratulate those folks as well. And to all of those recipients, please accept our appreciation for your service and dedication to professionalism. The next section of the program will honor the 2009 recipients of the IEEE USA Regional and Divisional Professional Leadership Awards. These awards are presented to recognize those members in U.S. regions and divisions for their outstanding leadership efforts in advancing the professional aims of IEEE in the United States. The 2009 recipients are Thomas Bellarmine, Carol Carey, Uri Moskowitz, and Kevin Taylor. Would those recipients please come forward, please? Okay, Thomas, would you come forward? Thomas was selected for leadership in PACE activities in Region 3. Thomas, please.
Yeah, I want to thank IEEE USA and Tallahassee area section volunteers who helped me to conduct the MPAC SPAC conference. And I also want to mention a couple of people who really helped me to organize the meeting and get funding for the meeting and make it a great success. One of them is Jim Howard. I don't think he's here. The other one is Adib Hamsi. Jim was a Region 3 SPAC coordinator, and Adib was PACE activities Region 3. I think Adib is somewhere here. Can you get up, Adib?
Not here.
Not here. Okay. Thank you very much.
Carol, please come forward. Carol was selected for establishing a Women in Engineering Professional Development Seminar in Region 2 that's been so successful that it rotates now throughout the other IEEE US regions. Carol?
Wow, thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Okay, my sincere gratitude to all of you who thought of me to be honored for the Regional Professional Leadership Award. I want to thank IEEE USA as an organization, all the members of IEEE USA Board, the Nominations and Awards Committee, the IEEE USA staff, and all of you who are responsible for helping me achieve this honor. But finally, my 20 seconds time of fame, I want to say that tonight, it is not making one person's vision a reality. It is keeping the torch lit and passing it on in entirety. Thank you.
Very nicely done, thank you. All right, please. Uri was selected for leadership in gold and student activities in Region 1. Please.
So there's a lot of people that I would like to recognize, but I don't know if I have time to name them individually. People who've helped me along the way, people who've made opportunities for me, and of course the people who filled out the nomination. But in particular, I feel I should at least recognize Sun Wan. He helped me get involved in IEEE in the first place. He's made a lot of opportunities for me in particular. I'm sure a lot of people sitting around that table and elsewhere around here would also recognize him if they were in this position too. So thank you, Sun Wan.
And Kevin, would you come forward, please? Kevin was selected for leadership in integrating IEEE Power and Energy Society participation at the IEEE USA annual meeting last year. Kevin, come over.
I'd like to say that this award is an honor for me, and I would like to thank all IEEE USA as an organization and all the individual members who helped me make my effort a success.
Congratulations to the four of you. Unfortunately, There were two other recipients in this category who could not be with us tonight. Loretta Arellano was selected for leadership in volunteer development in Region 6, and Darlene Rivera was selected for leadership in women in engineering activities in Region 1. So our congratulations to all of them. The next part of the program will be the recognition of those individuals who have been awarded a Citation of Honor. This award honors individuals who've made exemplary contributions toward achieving the aims of professional activities in the United States. The recipients of the 2009 Citation of Honor are with us tonight. Thomas Jepson, Mitchell Thornton. Please come forward. The first citation goes to Thomas Jepson. Thomas, please come to the stage. Thomas was selected for leadership in advancing the vital role of technology in medical policy and healthcare delivery. Thomas, please.
Thank you all. There is nothing that is more important to us, both as IEEE members and as Americans, than our health. And for that reason, IEEE USA needs to take an active role in formulation of healthcare policy. I'd like to acknowledge the work of our entire Medical Technology Policy Committee members for providing the expertise that enabled us to put these policies recommendations together. Particularly, I'd like to thank Deborah Rudolph for her great skills in organizing us, keeping us focused and on track. And since we believe in thinking globally but acting regionally, I'd also like to thank the members of Region 3, the leadership of Region 3 and our local Eastern North Carolina section for their help and support in our activities in the healthcare field. Thank you.
And Mitchell, would you come forward, please? Mitchell Thornton was selected for contributions to the advancement of software engineering licensure in the United States. Please.
Thank you so much. Last spring, our committee, in conjunction with the IEEE Computer Society, surveyed our members who work in the area of software engineering, and they indicated that they wanted a path to licensure. So we got busy and put a proposal together, and it was ultimately approved by the board last November. So it was a real honor for us to serve our membership. And I would like to thank a couple of individuals in particular, my colleague and longtime friend Dick Schwartz, all the members of the LRC committee that worked so hard in putting this together, our leadership, John Twitchell, and finally the staff that supported us, Vin O'Neill and Chris Brantley. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, and congratulations again to you both, and accept our appreciation for the service, for your service and dedication to the engineering profession. The next award is to recognize a partnership between a pre-college educator and an IEEE engineer. The 2009 Pre-College Education Teacher-Engineer Partnership Award recognizes collaborative activities between K-12 educators and technical professionals who are IEEE members. The recipients of this award are George House and Richard Sanders. Unfortunately, Richard was unable to attend tonight, but accepting on behalf of the team is George House. George, will you come forward, please? George and Richard were selected for enhancing the learning experiences of pre-college students through a wide range of scientific activities. George, would you come to the podium, please?
Thank you very much, IEEE USA. This recognition is an honor, and I'm just pleased to have it. And Rich Sanders is also pleased to be part of the award recognition. He is a member, and if you look at his picture, he's a lot younger than I am. They have 2 young kids, and his wife works, and he works, and she's off on a business meeting that was planned long ago for this weekend, so she cannot make it. The catalyst for what I am doing is from Northeastern University, and you have seen the STEM programs today, and Northeastern is the manager for STEM education in the state of Massachusetts. 18 years ago, they started a program which was retirees, enhancing science education through experiments and demonstrations. And I saw this and I said, this is great. And I went and did it, and I've been doing it for 18 years, and I taught for about 7 years in between there. The IEEE Life Membership Committee also supports this what's called Reseed program, and they've been doing it for several years. But most important are the 6th graders. Every year I show up and there are new 6th graders. And they are the most important part, the effervescent joy they have of doing experiments that blow up, that bash, that crash, that do all those things. It is so much fun to do, and every year I enjoy going back to a new 6th grade, and thank you very much.
So congratulations to both George and Richard. Next we'll be recognizing the 2009 recipients of the IEEE USA Award for Distinguished Literary Contributions Furthering Public Understanding of the Profession. The award for Distinguished Literary Contributions was established in 1988 to recognize outstanding journalistic and other efforts that contribute to the enhancement and expansion of public understanding of the profession in the United States. The 2000 award recipients here tonight with us is Randy Atkins. Randy is the National Academy of Engineering's Senior Program Officer for Media and Public Relations. Randy? Randy Atkins was selected for increasing public understanding of the profession through weekly radio engineering and innovation reports on WTOP radio in Washington. Randy, the podium.
Thank you. A radio person always needs a script here. I really am honored by this award. I'm not so sure about the highfalutin distinguished literary contributions. After all, I do 40-second radio pieces on commercial radio, but I do really think they contribute, as the rest of it says, to furthering the public understanding of the profession. And so I thank you very much for this. My reports air on Federal News Radio and WTOP Radio, which is an all-news format station in the Washington, D.C. region. It's the most listened to station, actually, in the Washington, D.C. region. This isn't NPR, and it's not public radio on purpose. Listeners are not just the already enlightened, the people that are interested in science and engineering. This is all people. They're the people who tune in, well, the people who tune in don't tune in to hear me, actually. They tune in to listen to the news and the traffic and the weather and the sports, and then they happen to hear some interesting things about what engineers are doing. Holly Morris, the other recipient of this award, who isn't here tonight, does the same sort of thing on Fox News. She talks to a wide audience. I'm also particularly excited to be following last year's, one of last year's award winners, Alan Boyle, who writes for MSNBC.com and won for writing about the National Academy of Engineering's Grand Challenges for Engineering project, because I led that effort with the help of NAE President Bill Wolf. And so I'm really proud to be getting this honor tonight. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. As Randy said, unfortunately, the other recipient of this award for tonight, Holly Morris, was unable to join us. She was selected for increasing public understanding of the profession through live television reporting of the National Engineers Week Future City competition. So we congratulate Holly as well. Next, we'll be recognizing the 2009 recipients of the IEEE USA Award for Distinguished Literary Contributions Furthering Engineering Professionalism, another literary award. This award honors those who have made outstanding contributions through their literary efforts to the advancement of the U.S. professional activities of IEEE. We have one award winner. Unfortunately, the award winner for this year, Lee Howard, who's pictured there, is unable to join us. He was selected for investigative reports on the misuse of the H-1B visa program, but we congratulate him, and we'll make sure that award gets presented in an appropriate venue. The next award is for achievements in a technical area. In 1992, IEEE USA assumed responsibility for the Harry Diamond Memorial Award, which had previously been an IEEE-wide award. The award was first established in 1949 in memory of Harry Diamond, a longtime employee of the National Bureau of Standards. His professional life exemplified the highest type of engineering and scientific development effort. Each year this award is presented to honor an individual for distinguished technical contributions in the field of electrotechnology while in U.S. government service. The 2009 recipient of the Harry Diamond Award is James McGarrity. Dr. McGarrity served as an advisor to the Defense Nuclear Agency on programs to develop new electronic technology, and he still consults at the U.S. Army Research Laboratory. He was selected specifically for contributions to understanding of radiation effects in microelectronics and to the development of defense electronics for harsh environments. Unfortunately, he could not be with us tonight, but we'll be presenting his award at a later date at another IEEE conference. So let's congratulate him. Now, the next part of the program will be the recognition of IEEE USA, of the IEEE recipients of the IEEE USA Award for Distinguished Public Service. This award honors individuals not currently in the practice of engineering for furthering the professional goals of the IEEE in the United States by such means as, but not limited to, promulgating laws or regulations benefiting the profession, influencing industrial environments to foster professionalism, and creating curricula or publications designed to enhance professionalism. The first recipient of the Distinguished Public Award, Public Service Award, is William Wolf. Dr. Wolf won the award actually in 2008, but he was unable to join us last year. So we're taking advantage of the opportunity to present the award here tonight. Dr. Wolf's public service includes, among many, many other things, his tenure as Assistant Director at the National Science Foundation and as President of the National Academy of Engineering from 1996 to 2007.
Well, thank you. I am frankly just incredibly honored to receive this award. But I have to tell you, when I was thinking about what remarks to make tonight, I realized that what I really wanted to say was corny. But I really wanted to say it. So turn up your corn filter. I really don't view what I've done so much as public service, as rather paying back a system that has treated me incredibly well. When I was 8 years old, my father contracted Parkinson's disease, and I was basically raised on welfare. When I finished high school, I managed to get a scholarship to go to a local community college in Chicago. When I graduated high school, when I graduated from the community college, I managed to get a scholarship to go to the University of Illinois to finish my bachelor's degree. One of the faculty there took me under his wing and explained to me that there was something called graduate school that I didn't know anything about, that I really ought to consider doing. Time after time after time in my career, people have intervened, given me opportunities. I've worked my butt off to try and fulfill the obligations of those opportunities. But I think it just speaks volumes about this profession of ours is egalitarian. It's a meritocracy. It really is the American dream. People from very humble backgrounds can, in fact, achieve a lot. And so I've felt very strongly that it was my obligation to pay back. And I guess I view this award in many ways as simply an affirmation that I managed to do that to some extent. Again, thank you very, very, very much.
What I whispered to Dr. Wolf there was, go Illini. Also, I wanted to say thanks for providing us a very inspiring keynote speech earlier this morning. Thank you very much. So that was the 2008 Distinguished Public Service Award. Now we move to the 2009 award, which is presented to Sean Otto. Sean is a political strategist, a speaker, science advocate, and screenwriter. He continues to speak and write on transforming America's relationship to science and engineering. Sean, you're here already? Good. Sean was selected for taking the lead in elevating science and technology in America's public dialogue through the Science Debate 2008. Sean, the podium.
Thank you. I do need notes too. What an honor to be here among you, among all these distinguished awards recipients, these brilliant engineers that are changing America and the world. Thank you so much for this honor. I also would like to thank Russ Lefebvre and Marty Sokolowski and the awards committee and the entire board of directors of the IEEE USA, and everyone else that had to do with this. Why was Science Debate 2008 so important? For those of you who don't know what Science Debate 2008 was, we set out as a citizens initiative to ask the candidates for president to debate science and technology policy issues. Those issues had never been debated on the campaign trail, and no president had gone into office with a formed science policy. Science Debate 2008 did finally, through a lot of work, 16-hour days, volunteer for about a year and a half, we did build a coalition of about 38,000 scientists and engineers that got the candidates for president to hold an online debate of science and technology policy that formed the basis for the Obama administration's science policy. So for the first time, a president did go into office with a clear idea of how science and technology fit in with the overall agenda. This is so important because, as you know, perhaps more than anyone else, we live in a new global society that is dominated economically, socially, and in terms of communication and religious interactions and conflicts by science and technology. And we've simply got to find new solutions to engage our political leaders on these topics. Almost every major unresolved policy debate that the United States is facing revolves in some central way around science and technology policy. Thomas Jefferson once said, "When the people are well informed, they can be trusted with their own government." And the question is are we well enough informed for the century of science and engineering? We've got 4% of members of Congress that have any background whatsoever in science and engineering, less than 1% in the hard sciences. Most of them, since the closing of the OTA, rely on lobbyists and the internet for key policy-making advice that determines the future of science and tech in America and the world. That's where all of you guys come in. They rely on you to take the leadership role. They won't go out on a wing without you. I once asked a member of Congress, what constitutes a groundswell of support? And he said, 12 letters or phone calls that are not form letters or form phone calls. 12. So you can have an outsized impact on the future of this country, and the children of this country rely on you to take us to that grand new vision that Norm Augustine has painted out for us earlier about an America and a world that works together to embrace a competitive future driven by science and technology that actually engages our key problems and resolves them like you guys are so good at doing. Thank you very, very much for this great honor.
Congratulations, Sean. Thanks to all of you now for joining us tonight as we've honored these these distinguished awards and for professional activities, and we very much appreciate your participation and your help in honoring these people. And I must remind you once again to get nominations in for next year's award, and as you heard earlier, the deadline for that is July 31st.